Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. And today I'm going to be giving you my top 3 free niche research tools. Now it's an important area because it allows you to find those books that are profitable, which will make your KDP publishing business a success. Now, if you've not been here before, my name is Marles and I do videos on how to make it, keep it and grow it, and that's your money I'm talking about. And if you like videos like that, then please do give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and also smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos like this. Okay, so niche research. As I've said, it's an important area because it allows you to find those books or those types of books which are profitable. And at the end of the day, you're in this business to make money and hopefully create a thriving publishing business. So first of all, what is a niche? Well, it's those broad kind of subject areas, if you like, and would include things like a colouring book, log book, activity book, puzzle book, handwriting book. There's lots of different niches, and there's no magic bullet for finding those niches. Often it's a case of going to Amazon, using the search bar and putting in these broad search term ideas. I've given you some examples. There are many different niches on Amazon, and it's a case of brainstorming and just taking a look. But once you start to put those words into the search bar, see what comes up, you often end up going down these rabbit holes and finding lots of different niches. And what I suggest you do is, when doing research for niches, is just get a spreadsheet, something like a Google spreadsheet, or there's an app on Windows computers called Microsoft To Do, where you can just create a list of different niches as you come across them. And over time you'll find that you build up this really big list. Now, when doing research, we're looking in particular for one important metric, and that's the best sellers ranks. And this tells us, or gives us, an idea of how many books of a particular type are selling. So that's the first thing that I normally do when I'm researching niches. I'll go across to Amazon, and I'm going to give you an example here, and look at a niche, in this case adult colouring book. And you can scroll down and have a look, and you'll find straight away there's little sub niches within there, like animal colouring books, gardening colouring books, flower colouring books. Again, start making a list of these. Now normally what you would do is, when you do your search, is you would click on one, and then you would need to scroll down and look at this figure here, which is the best sellers rank. Now, the lower the best sellers rank means the more that book is selling. So in each month, for example, this book would be selling more than, say, a book that had a best sellers rank of 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000. You see where we're going with that. So we're looking for low best sellers ranks. Now you can see what I've done here. I've had to go through the list, I've had to click on a book, scroll down and look at the best sellers ranks. Now keep doing that and it becomes a very tedious and slow process. So there are tools that can help speed this up. Now, just on a quick side note, when I'm doing my niche research, same as when I'm doing my keyword research, I look for a number of books on the first page or in the top 10 that have a best sellers ranks of less than 300,000. And ideally I want at least 3 books with best sellers ranks less than 300,000, because that tells me that these books are selling. There is a market for these books in this particular niche. And something like 300,000, you probably get 1, 2, 3 sales a month, which may not sound much, but when you add that over a larger and larger number of books, as you start to publish more, it soon grows, and very quickly. And some of those niches you will hit a home run, and you'll find some books will sell incredibly well and probably make most of your profits. So, as I've shown you, it's a little bit tedious doing that, just clicking on each book. It would take you quite a while to go through each book, click on it, scroll down, look at the bestsellers rank, and then do the same for all the other books. So the first tool I want to show you is this one, and it's a Chrome plugin, and it's called DS Amazon Quick View. And when you've got that installed, what it will do is below the listings, it will give you the bestsellers rank and also some other figures, including the ASIN number. And if you hover over a book, it will give you some more details as well. And straight away you could tell if this is published on KDP. They usually say create space here or independently published, as this one says. And it also tells you what categories the book is in. But the most useful figure I use this for is looking at the bestsellers rank. So you can quickly see, just by scrolling down the page, what the bestsellers ranks are and give you an idea. You can look for those 3 books with ranks of less than 300,000, and you can do that quickly just by scrolling through. So that's AMZ Suggestion Expander, and I've been using that for a few years and is very useful indeed. The next tool I'm going to give you, which is free and which is from Helium 10, again it's another Chrome plugin, and I'll leave the link to Helium 10 down below. And I say this is entirely free. What you do is you perform your search, you click on the plugin and then click on Xray Report, and it will give you this list of all the books on that page. And this gives us an amazing amount of information. So we can go and find these lists of bestsellers ranks here. Just move that over so you can see it better. And so straight away, you don't have to be scrolling down the page. You can just glance at these and even just look at the top 10 or just look at the whole page and see what the bestsellers ranks are and see if it meets that criteria I mentioned earlier. It also tells us the average bestsellers ranks of these books. Now for this particular niche, colouring books, adult colouring books that sell extremely well, the average bestsellers ranks is quite low. But what you've got to take into account is that this will be skewed slightly because there'll be products there with either a very low bestsellers ranks or sometimes related products with very high bestsellers ranks. As you can see here, we've got a product here with a bestsellers ranks of 397,000, which will be increasing this bestsellers rank straight away. So it may not give you a true picture, but it gives you an idea. And most of these tools are designed to give you an idea. They're not meant to be taken, to the point exact figure. So this tells us the bestsellers ranks, and it's also useful because it gives us an idea of the sales and the revenue. Although my next tool will show you something a bit more accurate for giving those figures, because I find that a lot of tools underestimate the number of sales per month. And I know this because I compare it to the bestsellers ranks of a lot of my books, and I find they always underestimate. But I'm going to give you a tool in a moment that will give you a more accurate figure. But I just wanted to look at this tool again in a bit more detail because it does give us some interesting information. And one of them is these sales graphs, because often when I'm researching niches, I'll go to Google Trends, put in that niche, and see if the trend is sales are increasing, the sales trend is increasing, or whether it's dropping, or whether there isn't much of a trend at all. But this tool, this free plugin, will help us with that information. So if I just click on one of these colouring books, let's click on the drinking animals, and we get this really useful graph which tells us the sales over a particular time period. So it can tell us from day to day how well a book is selling. But what's more interesting is if we say click on something like the 1 year time frame, we can see how well books have been selling over the last year. And so you can see if there's any trends there. Does it sell well at Christmas period, and does it only sell well at Christmas period, or are there other times of the year? Is it summer holidays? Is it start of school that a particular book or niche is selling well? And this one is very interesting, and I found this when I was looking at these books, is that we have this peak here around April and then has dropped off, and that coincided with lockdown, more people staying at home, sales of a lot of books on Amazon just shot through the roof, and particularly activity type books like this. Now, sales have dropped off. They're still very healthy and very respectable, but there is a prospect of another lockdown occurring, I think, within the next maybe 2 to 3 months. So you may find that this starts to increase again. So if you were using this tool and looking at niches and how the sales have been over the last year, if you find some niches that did spike around that sort of end of March, April time, you may say, okay, well, I might look at that with a view that maybe in the next couple of months sales of those types of books could increase again. So that's a very useful tool. And here we've got one called Review Velocity, which I haven't come across before on tools, and it shows you the change in the number of reviews over the last 30 days. And these books, because they're so popular, do get lots of reviews. Now, the last tool I'm going to show you is the Amazon Book Sales Calculator, and this is by TCK Publishing. Now, as I said, we've got sales numbers here on the Helium 10 plugin, but they all tend to underestimate, I found. But this calculator appears to be the most accurate that I've found, and that's by comparing to the sales of my books. So when you're doing your niche research and you've got, say, the bestsellers ranks of the top 3 best-selling books on that page for your niche, it's always useful to have a look to see how many sales that equates to. It's not vital, but it's just nice to know, and I use this tool extremely often. So if we said here, as this example, a bestsellers rank in the book department, and the sales per month for this would be something like 374. Again, it's slightly less than what I found, but it's a lot more accurate than other tools I've used. So those 3 tools will help you identify niches that are profitable, which is the prime purpose of doing the niche research. It will show you if there are any trends. It will give you an idea of the number of sales per month, and also with that Helium 10 plugin you can get an idea of the average price of the books, because if the average price is too low, the profit margin might be too low to actually make it worthwhile. And you may find some niches, for whatever reason, the average price of the books is higher than in other niches, maybe for no good reason. I know colouring books sell for more on average than, say, a blank line journal, and that's maybe understandable because there's a bit more going on with the insides. But I've done logbooks where some niches the average price might be $7.99 compared to the overall average, which is about $6.99. No good reason for that, but when you do find it, it's very nice to know, because it means you're going to be making more profit per sale. So that's it. That's my 3 top free niche research tools that I use, and I've been using them over the last couple of years, and it's the first step that I take, and after that I then start to do the keyword research. So that's it. If you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. But make sure you do hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell. And until next time, goodbye.